Hi, boys and girls, how are you today? I'm so happy to be back with you again. Do you remember me? I'm Acadiana's Mother Goose. I'm so happy to see you all again. Well, I have another wonderful book that I'm going to read for you today, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. This book is called A Tip Tap Tale, and it's by Denise Gallagher. It's a wonderful book, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I am enjoying it right now. Are you ready for me to read it to you? First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book before I start reading. Boozoo, a singing, guitar-playing hound dog, is happy at home in his Louisiana swamp, performing for the mudbugs and bullfrogs and stars above. When a cat named Slip Jim Jack shows up and entices Boozoo to perform in the big city of New Orleans. He can't resist the tales of a gold guitar, T-bone steaks, and endless rubber balls. This tip-top tale follows Boozoo and Slick Jim Jack as they amble along, howling and singing a hound dog song with a triple twist and turnabout, performing for the cheering, adoring crowds in New Orleans. But an unshakable nemesis could spell trouble for Boozoo and his newfound fame. Bebop, along with the colorful characters and lyrical language that make a tip-tap tale a fun-to-read romp through the swamps and big city of a jazzy Louisiana landscape. I can't wait to read this story to you today. A Tip-Tap Tale by Denise Gallagher. There is a swamp way down south with knee-knob trees dripping with moss, snow-white egrets, and impossible sky-blue skies. A dreamy-eyed dog lives there, a dog named Boozoo. An ears long, tail longer, Louisiana mud brown hound dog. See, there's Boozoo right there. On moonful nights, that hound dog sings, and eyes shut tight, nose to the stars, magic howling song. A tip-tap tail keeps the beat, a tune plucked from a hand-me-down guitar. Lightning bugs flicker to show that they approve. Crawdads and bullfrogs mud-deep hum along. See, Boozoo? He's such a cute little dog. Now and again, Boozoo stops mid-song to deal with a flea. Hind leg thumping, the fur flies, but the crawdads and bullfrogs keep right on humming till Boozoo continues his song. I'm just a hound dog, Boozoo sings, flashing a toothful canine grin at the twinkle bright stars above. The crawdads and bullfrogs and stars smile back. And here's Boozoo playing his guitar, and he has that little bitty flea jumping off of him too. One day, a silver shining Cadillac squished through the muck and the mud. Slick Jim Jack at the wheel. Gold teeth flashing, this cat was checking out a rumor, a story told by Shady Sadie about a hound dog, a singing, guitar-playing hound dog. And here is Slick Jim Jack. He's a cat, and he drives a Cadillac. With a sly wink and a whisker swish, Slick Jim Jack filled Boozoo's head with tales of a New Orleans and promises of a glistening gold guitar, T-bone steaks, endless rubber balls, and a roaring, rumbling Cadillac of his very own. Just like Slick Jim Jack has a Cadillac too. Just come with me and sing that song, that crazy rockin' hound dog song. So Slick Jim Jack made all these wonderful promises to Boozoo to have him to go to New Orleans. The vision of his name aglow in neon tall made Boozoo shiver from his tip-tap tail to that hound dog nose. So he packed a sack and grabbed his guitar. A heartbeat thump, a slick cat purr, and that Cadillac squealed as they hit the road. Now here's Boozoo and Slick Jim Jack going off in the Cadillac, and they're traveling now to New Orleans. First stop there in New Orleans was Dandy Dixie's Duds, the hippest shop for happening hounds. Dixie fitted that dog up with the absolute shiniest sequined coat. Va-va-voom! Velvet pants with rhinestone studs and shimmer shiny shoes to match. So this is the first stop where they helped to give him some new clothes when he performed in New Orleans. Then off they hopped to Fancy Fifi's beauty shop galore. Powder puffed and perfume spritzed as that pink perky poodle whirled and twirled. A pedicure, a pompadour, a clip, a curl, a snip, a dab, a gab, and Fifi's work was done. Look at Fancy Fifi's beauty shop galore. And there's Fancy Fifi, who's taking care of this cute little Boozoo. Yes. They making him all pretty so he'd be nice for his performance in New Orleans. Slick Jim Jack was on the line with the debonair DJ, Rockin' Jacques LaLoupe, who rang up Mimi Motormouth, the fastest way to spread the news. Mimi called her best friend Spike, and she couldn't help but shout, "I've got the skinny on a show tonight. A rockin' hound, a hip-hop dog. He's out of sight, I've heard." So here's Slick Jim Jack, and he's calling his debonair DJ, Rockin' Jacques LaLoupe, And then he rang up Mimi Motormouth, who told everybody about this new hound dog that was going to be performing in New Orleans. There she is telling everybody about it, because she just likes to talk and talk and talk and tell everybody what's going on everywhere. And sure enough, he showed them that jumpin', jivin' hound, a midnight howl, a shimmy shake, a tearful harmonious tune, a triple twist, a turnabout. The crowd just couldn't get enough. And here is Boozoo performing with his guitar. And he's just dancing all over the place while he sings. See that? What a dog! You crazy dog! Please sing us one more song. The audience loved Boozoo and his singing, his guitar playing, and his dancing around. The audience just wanted more and more, so they kept applauding and yelling, "Please play more for us." During his encore, Boozoo felt an itch, the unmistakable scratch of a nibbling flea. So he dropped that guitar and his hind leg went to work. See, he had a little flea that was biting him. So they have the little flea jumping off of him right here. Then he noticed the crowd had grown silent. "He's just an old hound dog," he heard in a hush. Oh no. Everyone is not being nice to him now. They're just saying he's just a plain old hound dog that had a flea on him. It was enough to make a hound dog pause, and deep inside he missed the smiling stars, the knob-kneed trees, the lightning bugs and bullfrogs hum, the place where a dog could be a dog. So he gave a wink and a deep bow wow and bebopped out the door. He missed all of his friends in the swamp. He missed his bullfrogs, he missed the egrets, he missed the stars, he missed the lightning bugs, he missed all of them. He just loved, loved, loved them. He headed on back, Cadillac, top down, to the brown mud that was home. But now and then, the full moon glitter calls him back, flea powder in hand, to howl a tune, to jump and jive, to twist and hear them shout. See Boozoo back at home in the swamp? He just loves the swamp and his friends over there too. That dog is hot. That dog can rock. That dog is out of sight. That's the end of the story. Did you enjoy that? I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This is a lovely book. And as I said, it was written by Denise Gallagher. She's an artist from around this area. She writes this beautiful book. As a child, Denise Gallagher wrote and drew constantly. She went on to study art and graphic design at the University of Southwestern Louisiana, where she earned her Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. Drawing from her rich imagination and the inspiration of her Louisiana home, she creates work that is at once whimsical and mysterious. She has illustrated books including the Cajun folk tale Jean la Chaussure et ses Chagins by Barry Ancelet. I might have messed that up a little bit because my French isn't that good. And she's received awards from the Society of Illustrators New York, the Society of Illustrators Los Angeles, Communication Arts Magazine, and the Society of Children Book Writers and Illustrators. Her work has been displayed in museums and galleries in New York, Los Angeles, Portland, and throughout Louisiana. She currently is happily residing in a little patch of sun in Lafayette, Louisiana. That's where we are today. And she's there with her loving husband, her 2 sons, and a couple of lazy hound dogs. So I'm sure that she wrote this book thinking about her hound dogs that she has at her home. And she just did a wonderful job with this book. She even wrote the book and said, "This is for Donnie and Zoe and Oliver, my twinkle bright stars." A Tip-Tap Tale by Denise Gallagher. It's such a wonderful book. Don't you love it as much as I do? I thoroughly enjoyed this book. Now, do you know that every month I read stories from local artists from Acadiana, some wonderful children's books. And I hope that you're still enjoying all the books that I'm reading each month. As I told you, I'm Acadiana's mother, Goose, and I have such wonderful stories to read to you every time and tell you some lovely stories. Did you have a lot of fun today? I hope you had as much fun as I did. I even have my little mother Goose right here with me. She can even sing some nursery rhymes. You've met her before. I believe that she sang some songs on my first show that I was on. And then I'm going to continue reading more stories. I'm going to be reading some fairy tales, and I hope you enjoy that. That's going to be on my next show. And those are wonderful stories. There's Rumpelstiltskin, Hansel and Gretel, and there's just a number of wonderful stories. So I want to thank you all for being with me today. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Now I have a story, some fairy tales to read to you. This is one of my other favorite books. Let me see what we can read today. Do you know Rumpelstiltskin? Well, this is the story that I'm going to read to you right now. And then after Rumpelstiltskin, I have Hansel and Gretel, and Cinderella, and Jack and the Beanstalk. Aren't those wonderful stories? I think you're going to enjoy them. Yes, I do. Now, do you remember who I am before I go on reading? Yeah, that's right. I'm Acadiana's Mother Goose. And I hope you listen to these lovely stories that I have to read to you today. Rumpelstiltskin. There once was a poor miller with a beautiful daughter named Gilda. The miller often wished he could give his daughter a better place to live. One day, the miller asked the king if Gilda could work at the palace. "And why would I hire your daughter?" asked the king. "What makes her so special?" "Well," the miller replied, "she is quite beautiful and she works very hard." The king shook his head. "I'm sorry, miller," said the king. "We have no work for her." "Wait, Gilda has a special talent," lied the miller. "She can spin straw into gold." "That is wonderful," said the king. "Bring her here right now." The miller rushed home. "You have to go to the palace," he told his daughter. "I'm afraid I've promised something impossible." So here is Gilda and her father on this side, and here is the king over here, and he's going to bring his daughter Gilda to the palace to work. But he lied to the king. He told the king that his daughter can spin straw into gold. The miller told Gilda about his lie. "What have I done?" cried the miller. "If the king discovers that I lied, I could be arrested." "Don't worry," said his daughter. "I will think of something." At the palace, a servant led Gilda into a room filled with straw. "Spin this into gold by morning," he said. Alone, Gilda began to cry. Just then, a strange little man appeared. He asked why she was crying. "My father lied to the king," Gilda said. "Now the king wants me to spin all of this straw into gold." "That's easy," said the little man. "I will do it for you." The man said that Gilda would have to give him something in return. "Anything," cried Gilda. "You have to give me your firstborn then." So the king was impressed with her talents, and he said, "Will you be my queen?" And she said yes. They were married that very day. Then she gave birth to a child a year later. And this little man came back to get his baby from her. And she said, "Oh no." He said, "If you can guess my name, then I won't take the baby." She said, "She'll never guess. Rumpelstiltskin is my name." So the queen, Gilda, he told her, "You have 3 guesses. Let's see. Is your name Bill, Fred, perhaps Rumpelstiltskin?" Because she had heard him singing in the forest. Hearing his name, he got very angry, and he ran away. He was never seen again. Didn't you enjoy that story? That's one of a few stories that I have available that I'm going to read from. Fairy tales, okay? Thank you again. Okay. We'll continue with this book.